And that's Burna Boy featuring our own Manifest. And I watched this at the beginning of the week. It was fantastic. And I have to say that Manifest, look, in that video was just, well, good morning to you, Robert Coleman. You're the Chief Executive for the Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited. Have a good time. And I hope that you still can stay watching the show. But Mama V, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
You look very exquisite. Like some innocent lady.
I am innocent.
Like
just wanted to say that, you know, Burna Boy released this Another Story video on Nigeria's Independence Day, 1st of October. So that's how come you.
Okay, so that's the day that I watched it. That would be Tuesday.
Yeah. So this was to coincide. Yeah. But this is.
And there was one thing I loved about the collaboration. You get to find that Manifest was his usual self, but spoke Tree a lot and mixed it with pidgin and
identity, identity.
And I really loved it because it is a video that will appeal to everybody, people in the diaspora, local in Nigeria, and I thought it was good. And it's getting the views that it deserves.
I think he's been streamed 110 million times or so, Burna Boy, in the US.
Wow.
In the US alone. Yeah, inequality propaganda, that's the African story, innit?
Yeah.
All right, let's do the news. Let's do the newspapers, but before that, let's share with you Live to Lead 2019. How do you develop leaders to handle today's changing business environment and position them for tomorrow's uncertainties? By what practical ways can leaders seek out and develop other leaders to succeed them? As a leader, how do you handle challenges and transform them into opportunities to positively impact your organization? These are many more leadership questions that will be addressed at the Live to Lead 2019 by world-class experts and renowned achievers like John C. Maxwell, #1 leadership teacher, coach, best-selling author, and Angela Schretz, former senior vice president of Apple Retail, Marcus Buckingham, global researcher and thought leader, Rahel Hollis, best-selling author, Chris Hogan, international best-selling author and motivational speaker, and our own Nana Nsakwa IV, traditional ruler, media personality, and thought leader. Live to Lead is a leader development experience designed to equip you with new perspectives, practical tools, and key takeaways that will refine your leadership skills and bring success to your organization or business. Join the VIP Business Networking session that will happen next Thursday, 10th of October at 7 p.m. at the Alisa Hotel, and the international simulcast will be just the following day, Friday, 11th of October at the College of Physicians and Surgeons, Ridge, at 11 a.m. You need a ticket to be part of this. This is all important. A VIP ticket is only 500 Ghana cedis. Regular is 200 Ghana cedis, and if you're a student, it would cost you 100 Ghana cedis. Register now at ctl-africa.com, and for more information, please call CTL Africa on 055 051 5391. 055 051 5391. All right, so that's the information about Live to Lead. Let's concentrate on the newspapers now. Do the Daily Graphic and the Times. Front page of the Daily Graphic, here we go. Cocaine turns ephedrine. Roland?
Ephedrine.
Ephedrine.
Yeah.
Okay. In a twist of events, the Narcotics Control Board has stated that the whitish powdery substance found on 2 Nigerians at the Baglo border post last Friday is not cocaine. Ephedrine, you see, is an odorless white powder substance used in the preparation of legal drugs, and also also a strong and highly addictive drug that affects the central nervous system and which has no legal use. The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority had earlier stated that a preliminary test it had done on the powdery substance indicated the stuff was cocaine. Well, the head of the enforcement units at NACOP, Solomon Stanley Ayo, told the Daily Graphic in Accra yesterday that as the state institution clothed with a law to conduct tests on suspected narcotic drugs NACOP took center stage in the investigations and found out that the substance was not cocaine. Also on the front page, no company licensed to manufacture guns. Cosmos opens incubation hub in Accra. We were there. We covered this live for you here on Joy News. Well, congratulations to Cosmos Energy with the challenge. Now there is a one-stop place where they can do everything that they want to do with those who enter into the Agritech challenge, and the place is incredible. The place is incredible. You know, where they take this, the young businesses, the startups through the series of events, the processes before they become matured and they unleash them onto the market. It's an incredible place. Before that, they were just going to several different places. It was almost like a virtual kind of training, but now there's a physical place in terms of the innovation hub, you know, which they outlawed yesterday. 30 arraign over exam malpractices is also another story on page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. It says about 50 people have been apprehended for engaging in examination malpractices in the West African Senior High School certificate examination for private candidates, which ended yesterday. Out of the number arrested, 30 people have been sent to court and successfully prosecuted, after which they were fined, jailed, or sentenced to both, depending on the severity of the offense, or according to the WAEC Act. 26 were apprehended for impersonation and abetment, 3 for abetment only, and 1 for possession of mobile phone and copying in the examination hall. This year's WASI for private students, popularly referred to as NOVDEC, which was conducted by WAEC, took place from July 29 to October 2. The offenses and punishment and the worrying trends. Well, the head of the Ghana National Office of WAEC, Mrs. Wendy Adi Lamte, said she was worried that in spite of the arrests and prosecutions, examination malpractice persisted, and blamed the situation on the lack of stiffer punishment to discourage others. I don't know why some people think it's okay to get somebody to write the exam for you. It is you taking the paper and not the person. Definitely. Why would anybody also agree to go and write on behalf of someone and pretend to be that person?
They're committing a crime.
Yeah.
And there's always an intention. And that's the intention.
That is
to
so
get somebody
not right.
to write your paper for you.
That is so not right.
For good reason in their perspective.
If you make the grades, it won't be your grades.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back page.
You ever watch the movie 3 Idiots?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. It was an Indian movie, well publicized and highly circulated.
Yeah.
And there was the main protagonist or the character who had written papers and gotten a university certificate for someone else who had been the father's boss' son, and as an engineer. And he was the one who was doing everything. So the gentleman had the certificates in the hallway of his house, but he really was not the custodian. And it was the friends got to discover. That's it. There are 3 of them. So the 2 of them hadn't met in a long time. They got to discover that the certificate was representing somebody else by way of the pictures, the graduation date, and Photoshop and all. And got to know that he was not the one. And the one who really did the impersonation was very good at what he does in engineering, inventing and creating.
Yeah. If you didn't take the exam, it's not you.
Yeah.
You know, you can pretend or
you can pretend all you like.
Yeah.
As the phrase goes.
Yeah. But it is still not you that is that intelligent. Back page of the Daily Graphic, the climaxes Cocoa Day in Sunyani. Cosmos opens innovation hub in Accra. So that full story is on the back page of the paper. Yep. Let's do the Ghanaian Times now. The Times front page, majority leader decries monetization of electoral process. Everybody is either telling us about something that exists, worried about it, so who is actually fixing it? Cosmos Energy inaugurates Innovation Center and Incubation Hub. Vice President launches one-stop job center for youth employment. 1 dies, 16 injured in accident at Abakam. IGP interdicts 2 cops over torture of suspects. CJ scolds judges, magistrates over thank you money. Thank you money is in code for judicial staff. That story is on page 17, and it says The Chief Justice, Sophia Kufu, has cautioned judges and magistrates against paying thank you money to judicial officers in appreciation of their work. She said the practice, which has been ongoing for years, was insidious and detrimental to the fight against corruption within the judiciary and the judicial service, and called for an end to it. She said, quote, "I know this practice has persisted over a long period, but I believe it is time for us to put a stop to it as judges, as it contributes to the culture of corruption in our institution. Judicial service staff, be they directors, senior or junior staff, are paid by the state to undertake their official duties. Any thank you must not go beyond the verbal, and that should be it," she added, unquote. All right, back page of the paper. Participants at Bolga Town Hall meeting laud government intervention, and Cosmos Energy inaugurates Innovation Center and Incubation Hub. All right, so that story in the Daily Graphic, also in the Guardian Times newspaper. Roland, you want to continue?
Yeah, so let me do the Daily Guide. Has on the front page, Jubilee House soldier in coup plot. Has an attached picture of Dr. Frederick McPalm. And then also, Mahama didn't fight corruption, says Rawlings. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide. Down there we have CJ pushes for good health for judges. And among all these related issues that were discussed at the Association of Judges meeting yesterday, they also advocated for at least some free way of passage when they applied for visas to travel outside the country, because it was found that some of our Supreme Court judges and some of our High Court judges, notable members of the bench, would queue with ordinary people like us, and we know that they are not ordinary, for visas. All right, yay, that's YEA opens job center. That was a good one. Went to the portal, was a good one as well. Now let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. We have the main story saying, giving us a brief on what statistics we should expect, and we know that there will be the decade run of the census next year, as we've done from 2000, having 2010, and doing it every decade. That's a good one. At least we'll keep to that timeline. Religious affiliation in Greater Accra: Christians 83%, Muslims 11%, ICT in Ashanti, Central and Greater Accra regions. Also, all these there. Chief of Staff opens master workshop for GIDEC, and Rawlings retracts call for Apenyo Markins interdiction. Okay, and then there's the second of our focus on 200 seats. Will focus on Gona East. NDC's Miss Quinsta Sawyer and the MPP's Professor Kwesi Yanka. Parliamentary elections always very nice. Let me look at the last paper, The Custodian. And The Custodian is edited by my good friend Awudu Mahama. Good morning to you, Awudu. Has on the front page, government creates 350,000 public sector jobs. NDC increase electricity tariffs by 166%, but MPP has rather decreased it by 5%, or cumulatively only increased it by 5%, we're told, according to Dr. Baumia. Other related stories: government will develop resilient aluminium industry. A story attributed to the Chief of Staff from Opari. We are on course on MMDC's referendum, Obiamwa, and there was a brainstorming between Rawlings on one hand as a former president, and then the board chair and members of the board of the Ghana Water Company Limited. I don't have water flowing in my area though, I don't know why. Ghana Water, perhaps we need to do something about it. And you take a look at it, that's it. Okay.
All right, let's do the Daily Statesman. I've got two papers to do, and then we'll go to myjournline.com. So the Daily Statesman, Chief of Staff opens GIADEC Master Plan Workshop. Move to drive politics with cash could be national crisis. Ignore NDC's propaganda. Kufuor has kept faith with Ghanaians on electricity tariffs, says the Vice President. This is on the front page of the Daily Statesman. Okay, says the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia Akufo-Addo has kept faith with Ghanaians on electricity tariffs, according to the Vice President. The Business Finder, front page, youth to get permanent jobs as Dr. Bawumia launches YEA's Job Center, top German firm to invest in Ghana, Cosmos Innovation Center Incubation Hub launched. There is a summary of the markets, the numbers on the front page of the Business Finder newspaper. If that's your interest, you can grab it and check it out.
You're done?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the story that I've also I saw that you read it on the front page of the Daily Statesman, and it says it seemed to be this banter that the Vice President always want to have, comparing figures of whether they are incremental or not between the MPP and the NDC regime. But the reality is that you have that the numbers keep going upwardly, and once cumulatively, you say the percentage of the accumulation is less. That's the number of times that you increased it. But the quantum by which people will have to cough out money from their pocket to pay is still very high. And I don't know why the Vice President keeps making this argument, but it leads many people to assume that he doesn't seem to perhaps empathize with what really is happening on the ground.
It's just the politics, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
and I think that sometimes he needs to communicate in such a way that people will assume that he seems to reflect how they feel. And for example, at that event, and it was at the launch of that portal for the Youth Employment Agency, he says that between 2013 and 2016, just the last 4 years of the NDC government, the cumulative increase in electricity tariff was 166%. We do understand that. But if you compare...
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? There's been an increment.
Yes. And it just is talking about the number of times that they increase in percentage terms over the previous figures that will be there for the next increase.
You know what the ordinary person would say, and so what?
No, but
what it is what has happened.
I'm even saying that that's, you know, there was a reduction of some 30%, but if you look at the money that is used in purchasing a certain amount of electricity for consumption, it's still gone up. It's even going up. So when you talk about the incremental percentage that you make, but whether it's upward or downward, and you're saying that the number of times you made it is less than when it was done during the regime of John Dramani Mahama, then it looks like you don't...
You're not in touch.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's theory. That's theory.
Yeah,
what we're experiencing is practical.
Yes, the numbers speak good. But if you look at how much somebody would have to remove from the pocket to buy, it's rather they are spending more on electricity. It doesn't matter the number of times, whether it was less than the number of times that the NDC decided.
I mean, is it just the NDC that will be paying electricity, by the way?
Yeah, and I feel the Vice President, you see, sometimes when he's communicating, I think he should communicate in such a way that we all feel that, the way I think, he's also thinking that way. Because you see, I got this reaction when this was played on radio, and when he said this, I was going to buy. I have some kinky joints, so I was going to around just a Shima. So I was there, and I was and they were playing it in one of the. There was a number of shops, and you know, with these shops, they like putting their loudspeakers on the high, and it was blasting. I was like, Vice Do you understand?
I get you, Roland.
That's the reality. That's the reality. You know, the credit.
I mean, what's the point in this whole comparison when we're just paying a lot more now?
No, you pay more.
That's
the
what
money
it is.
More.
Yeah.
And if you compare the credit, you know, the telecom companies are justifying why they have to remove the CST upfront. And now I understand them. Because, you know, before yesterday, I hadn't bundled. So I bundled just this morning, 20 Ghana. Immediately, I loaded my 20 Ghana of Vodafone. Then message came back that my thing has been, so first 10 Ghana, message came that this is the amount you are getting. Then another 10. So I needed to get 20. So I was, look, apparently I was living in the old regime. So I thought,
what does the new regime
and
look
you know,
like?
I had 4 CDs on it. So I'm thinking, oh, 20 never become a 4. Into omuye mo 9%, 10 ni film no omuye 9% ni film. And I just say, and me 4 CDs now me wanna, like I couldn't. So it means that I can't have 1 CDs and load 20 Ghana CDs and bundle 20 Ghana CDs, and I'll be left with my 1%. Actually, by the time I load my 20 Ghana CDs, when they do the deductions, I won't have 20 to bundle.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yes. So they remove
So
it straight.
if you have 20 Ghana cedis, you can't use it to bundle
No,
20.
you have to make way for that 9% that
You need a lot
will
more
be removed
money on it to be able to do that.
to do the 20 Ghana CD bundle, because the amount that you may have loaded by way of the airtime or credit would have reduced by the time you load it. So when you load it, they remove it.
Charlie. This one is the practicals. It's not the
practical.
theory. It's not the theory.
And I don't know whether yesterday you saw Farm Milk. Did you see Farm Milk? They did some nice way of communicating the 20% on the Fan Yogo.
Oh, so they've also done their increment.
Yeah. So, you know, I used to buy Fan Yogo at a shell shop just around Asham before I go home. 1 cedis. So they put 20 pesos on it.
Wow.
And they did some nice communication. I was thinking maybe...
Okay, that's also theory.
Yes, but do you know how they communicated it? They said the last time they as Farm Milk increased their prices, Shatawale was known as Bandana.
Oh, wow. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that time, the hit song at the time was Azonto.
That was all in the communication?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Okay,
so,
but now, so what? This increment is not coming from them?
No.
It's been necessitated by what? Action
yeah, you know,
by the government. I like that. All right, we have a little time to do myjobline.com, but you know, you can reflect on these things that the Vice President has been talking about. You can check out the details. Let's do myjobline.com quickly. But still to come on the show today, we're talking cerebral palsy. It's a condition. Well, let's do myjobline.com. We'll come back to that. All right, here we go. 22-year-old man jailed for defiling 14-year-old girl. Tema West MP donates 1,000 desks to Agri Memorial School. Fight against corruption should not focus on politicians alone, according to a chief. Sanction households without toilet facilities, according to the sanitation minister. She went around yesterday inspecting places. And yeah, you can check the full story out. NDK Financial Services is CIMG 2018 Finance House of the Year. Countryman Songo wins big at Ghana Actors Entertainment Awards. Iyoko invited to investigate SADA for causing 43 million Ghana cedis financial loss. Baumia justifies recent hike in electricity tariff. That's just the conversation that we've been having. You can go to myjournline.com, lots of stories that you can look at. Ghana Water Company cannot account for 42% of water produced. You know, that's the thing. When we pay more, and we see this happening, that there's a lot of waste as well, you know, then it does not justify the increments.
You know, this is an 80-year-old story.
Oh yeah.
I remember,
and it's not just water. It's not just water.
Around 2003 or 2004, I followed Ghana Water Company. That at the time, Stanley Mate was not the
comms person.
He was a comms person, but not the
manager
boss. I think he was for one of the or at the head office. And we went to Nima and some of those places, and the same justification. They had illegal connections and best pipes and all that. Yeah. That's why they can't account for.
Yeah, it's the same story.
Yeah,
another story. Story. We have to take
this one.
Oh, so that's the interesting. I like that Shatawale was still Bandana. Azonto Ghost was a hit. Richard Olelekese was still 28 years old. Oh my God. Boys were running girls on BBM.
You know BBM.
Yeah. Who talks about BBM these days? Pesiata was in secondary school. Apietus was still in the mix. Alex Ferguson was manager of Manchester United. Dubai was not in circle. The latest phone was the iPhone 5. Now we're talking what, iPhone 10? Strawberry was the only Fanny Yogo flavor. Oh my God, that's it. This is it for me.
Yeah, and yesterday I put it on my status. I said the best price communication strategy 101.
Fana, you owe us. Okay, so a very important conversation that we'll be having on the show is cerebral palsy. Remember last year, and we'll bring back some of the stories that Beryl, our colleague, shared with us. But we have a person living with cerebral palsy. He will share his experience with us live on the show. We're talking breast cancer as well.
I'm the ambassador for TV.
Yes.
I told you.
Roland A. So stay with us.
I love the way you did like this.
We've got sports, and then we'll have the conversations going. Stay with us.